Okay, so this is a modern day Oliver Twist where they're graffiti artists instead of robbers or whatever. I only watched this movie because Raffi is in it and I like him because he's family. He's my godmum's son, so he's my godbrother effectively. He's a really lovely guy. I love him dearly. I do not like this film that much. It's really bad. It's really corny. It's really annoying. At least Michael Caine's in it for a bit. It's just the way it retells the Oliver Twist story that mostly pisses me off because I love Oliver Twist and I don't like the way this film handles it. It's really cringeworthy. Noel Clarke is in it for a bit. Oh no. And overall, I don't care about it. Like, I'm never going to watch it again. I'm really happy that it's taken Raph's career off. He's in the military thing now. Best of luck to him and best of luck to everyone else involved. But this was not an experience that I took very seriously. I'll just say that much. Cry Macho's just a Clint Eastwood joint where he sneaks some kid from Mexico back to his dad's house or whatever from his evil mafia mother. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I started skipping through it. It was kind of boring. There were some cool moments, I guess. I'll always like Clint Eastwood. Don't care how old he is. He never loses his badassery, but at the same time I kind of struggled to believe that some 95-year-old old dude would just beat up some kid who found in the back of his truck. Like, okay, it's not shot or edited especially well, it's just kind of dull. When I come out, can you introduce me as Cruella? Yeah, female Joker. Not really, it's just, again, a film I don't hate quite as much as people hate, but I do find it annoying. I agree with every bit of criticism that this film has levied at it, but I do kind of like some things. Emma Stone and the other Emma are really good. They bounce off each other really well.
Although, of course, it goes without saying that Emma Stone's performance is nowhere near as entertaining or lively as Glenn Close's, which is just phenomenal.
There are some so cringeworthy they're kind of funny moments. There are some so cringeworthy it's just cringe moments. The story just makes no sense, especially in how it serves as a prequel to 101 Dalmatians. That's another thing. I don't understand where this film is coming from. Is it a prequel to the live action movies? Is it a prequel to the original movie? Is it setting up a 101 cinematic universe or something? Like a new one? I don't understand because so many things don't make sense. It does unnecessary shit like having the puppies that the couple who are going to meet each other in the 101 Dalmatians movie have be gifts from Cruella. And then he just writes a song about how cruel she is. She just gave you a fucking dog, you asshole. What the hell? Yeah, I'm never watching this film again. At least it's entertaining for kids or whatever. It's got costume design. Whether it's good or not is up for debate, but that's that movie. The least I can say about Halloween Kills is it had some fun, gory moments, even if they were extremely retarded. The way it did all of that flashback stuff to make it look like the original Halloween movie was actually really impressive, showing us how Michael Myers got captured after he was shot out the window and stuff. That was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that. But this film's ending is really frustrating. The plot as a whole is really stupid. I guess, yeah, the town are now the monsters that they're also hunting. Okay, I don't care. I really hope the next Halloween film is much better than this because this was just a fucking... I don't even know what the word is. Just Halloween Kills. It killed me. I'm dead. No more video. Prisoners of the Ghostland is kind of funny. It's a bad movie, but at the very least I wasn't completely bored while watching it. I was maybe drifting off at certain parts and I did have to end up falling asleep at one point. I think I missed 10 minutes of the movie. But hey, I watched Elvis the Aliens video, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, Nick Cage goes crazy. That's always fun to see. That woman from Kingsman's in the movie. She, I don't know, she just does her job, I guess. Nothing special there. It's a kind of funny bad movie, but I would not in a million years say it's actually commendable in any way. I mean, it looks alright and the sets are pretty cool and it's got fantasy imagination, but again, just no. I fucking love mainstream. Andrew Garfield is an actor who has yet to disappoint me. He's the best part of the Amazing Spider-Man films. He's incredible in The Social Network. He proved himself worthy in the latest Spider-Man, but we'll get to that in a bit. He's just a great actor with a lot of versatility. I really loved him in a lot of films. And I love him in this movie. The satire is obvious and it's really silly and over the top and exaggerated. It does at least attempt, and I'll give it that much, even if it is just kind of, again, a bit cringeworthy. And that's kind of the trend with all these movies that are low on the list. They are just kind of cringy. But you can tell there's an attempt at a meaningful message or whatever the hell. And I do commend this movie for making me laugh quite a few times, even if it wasn't always intentional. Sometimes it did just piss me off or was quirky for quirky's sake, which is irritating. But not the worst film of the year. You can definitely get a good few kicks out of it. Coming to America. What is this, fucking Madagascar? A film I have very mixed feelings about. You're going to hate this movie if you don't really have any love for the original film. You might hate it if you do have love for the original film. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I really love Coming to America. Coming to America is very much just an excuse for all these actors to get back together and have fun. The story's really dumb. It has some especially retarded humor, even by Coming to America standards. It's nowhere near as funny or clever or as thought-provoking or heartfelt as the original film, but if the point of it was to just give us some pleasant memories and give all these actors a chance to reunite, then I can't be too angry with it. It's completely inoffensive and, you know, it's not very faithful to the characters or anything, but again, I don't think it's trying to be. I think it's just trying to entertain, and, you know, me and my mum had fun watching it together. We loved the original movie, like I said. I thought on a technical level it was actually quite impressive with the whole green screening them and de-aging them back into the original film, the bar sequence thing, but like the rape humor and all that stuff, it's just, some of it really is just not funny. But hey, Nextdoria, I do like Wesley Snipes, so I'll give him that one. But yeah, watch it or don't. You might hate it, you might like it, who knows. Luca, Pixar's fish joint. It's fine. I don't really like the characters that much. I think it looks pretty cute. The story's a bit silly, but I do kind of like the whole summer free vibes in Italy that it's going for. The villain sucks. Got a nice little message about not judging books by covers or whatever. Again, I thought it was just middle of the road, nothing offensive. It's not bad. It's, again, like I said, kind of cute, but I can't imagine I'll be seeing it again or anything. Maybe I'll let my kids watch it one summer, who knows. Black Widow is really, 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 really stupid, but it's also kind of fun and funny. I really like Florence Pugh and ScarJo in it. They're a good mix. David Harbour is pretty great in it. Some of the humor is really cringy. Some of it is slightly funny. I do actually kind of like the joke about posing. The whole family is important message and reuniting with those even who kind of pissed you off but you still love them storyline, whatever. That's kind of cute, I guess. I feel like this film just is a bit too late. Like, I don't really care that much. Has its nice moments, has its annoying moments. It's just another MCU movie I don't care about that much. Mixtape's cute. Again, it's a nice little family-centric film. A girl trying to uncover more about her parents who she never really knew because they died, and she does it through the rare music they like. Of course, it has that early 2000s nostalgia thing, because if it was set in the modern day, she could find those songs literally just like that. But it adds a little sense of adventure and friendship, and she meets some people that she gets along with, and they have fun. I like the vinyl store owner guy. He was pretty funny, I guess. It's shot fine, it's edited fine, it's acted fine, it's fine, honestly. Like, again, inoffensive, not bad, not good. It's just something for you to switch your brain off and watch for a bit. I don't know, maybe show it to your edgy millennial music-loving teenagers. It might convince them to stop being such assholes for a bit. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings kind of smothers a potentially powerful story, but not to the point where it's completely unwatchable. Like, I still get something out of it at least. I understand the dad's motivations. I understand the conflict. It can actually be quite funny sometimes. I really like the karaoke drunk singing joke. The action is pretty cool. It gets a little bit headache over the top, migraine inducing towards the end, but I just kind of switch off during those sequences, so I don't care too much. If you really like martial arts movie, which I do, you'll definitely get a kick out of it, but I'm also a very critical person, so I observe it for its flaws and its achievements equally. Again, it's just a fine Marvel movie. I like how they kind of redeemed the Mandarin character, and Ben Kingsley's clearly having fun, just fully embracing the comical aspects of the character. But again, you turn one of the most intimidating comic book villains into a complete joke. Like, come on, guys. And now you're gonna hammer it home and have him reappear in a movie. Nice. I don't really know how Marvel fans feel about that. I don't care that much. I like Ben Kingsley, so it's fine. The main actor is fine. He doesn't ooze charisma, but he's clearly having fun doing it, and so's the lady opposite him, who I found really annoying, and I did not believe their romantic chemistry for 5 seconds. But she got less annoying as the film went on, and I didn't hate her at the end. Some characters I like, some I don't. It's fine. Just moving on. House of Gucky, like, again, it's fine. It's probably a little bit worse than Shang-Chi and a couple of the other films I mentioned, mainly because just not even that long after watching it, I scarcely remember anything about it. Like, the acting's pretty good for the most part. Jared Leto is unbelievably awful, but yeah, pretty good for the most part. It looks okay. It just kind of feels a bit lifeless and grey and miserable. Ridley Scott is a director who I have very mixed feelings on. When he hits the ball, he really hits it, but when he misses it, oh my god, does he get a fucking 3 strikes and you're out. Holy shit. This is a middle of the road thing. Like, let's say he got 2 strikes, he hit the ball, and then he got to like 1 square. That's what this movie feels like. It's not terrible, it's just not something I'm completely and utterly interested in. Like, I don't think you're going to enjoy this film unless you're like really into the biographical sort of criminal drama stuff. And even then, I feel like there's better examples of the genre. So yeah, see it or don't, I don't care. I only really watched Respect because I wanted to know how Marlon Wayans was in the movie, because he's obviously an actor who is difficult to take seriously. I don't really know all that much about Aretha Franklin either, so I'm going into it not really knowing anything. Apparently it's not entirely historically accurate, no surprise there. I just don't think I'm really one for these biographical movies based on celebrities, because I know they're not going to be truthful. But, you know, this film was fine. I kind of ended up skipping through it a little bit, and like I said, Marlon Wayans was actually really good in the movie, so props to him for trying to take his career in a different direction. I hope it works out for him. Of course, Forest Whitaker was really good in the movie. And yeah, Jennifer Hudson did a good job, as did most other people. Even the girl that played little Aretha Franklin, dare I say she was pretty good as well. Again, not great, not terrible, maybe a little bit too long. I somewhat respect this film. A Quiet Place Part 2 is in many ways the exact same thing as the first movie. I do think the filmmaking is a little bit more creative and fleshed out and interesting. The whole happening side by side thing at the end of the movie, it ends really abruptly, and that kind of especially kills it for me. There's some really stupid stuff that happens, much like the first film, which I found a bit more distracting. The reason I like the first film so much is because I thought it was like a genuinely scary cinematic experience that me and my mum shared when it first came out, but this film just didn't quite have that same punch. I thought it was utterly and completely fine, a bit more well made than the first film, and not bad enough to make me hate it, but also not good enough to impress me. It definitely sits a bit higher on the 5 out of 10 scale because of that respect I have for it, and of course, you know, Cillian Murphy is always really fun to watch. So, you know, maybe I'll watch A Quiet Place Part 3, maybe I'll like it more. Maybe I'll watch the spin-off they're working on and like it more, who knows. Edgar, Mostrevata. Last Night in Soho, not a great film if I'm entirely honest. I will admit, I did not see the twist coming, but I did not really like the depiction of sexual assault in this movie. I thought it was a little bit hammy and not exactly offensive, but just kind of like, why? Of course the acting's pretty good and it's an exceptionally stylish and incredibly well made film, but the story is just completely lacking in my opinion. It kind of jumbles all over the place, some things are just forgotten about, other things happen, and when they do happen, I'm just kind of like, again, why? Edgar Wright seems to really be a passionate filmmaker, and he really likes horror from what I can tell, but he's much better at combining it with comedy than he is trying to make an actual serious horror film. I mean, hey, don't give up, maybe try something like this again, you might actually hit the nail on it, who knows? But this film just did not do it for me. If I didn't love the way it was made so much, it would probably rank much lower. Okay, Free Guy is really stupid. It is one of the dumbest, most idiotic, and just unbalanced mentally films I've ever seen. Yeah, Taika Waititi is really irritating, most of the acting sucks, but Ryan Reynolds is oddly dedicated to this performance, and I actually really like him in the movie. And I also feel like it is supposed to be this stupid, like the film kind of knows how just utterly moronic it is. It obviously just knows nothing about the gaming industry or anything like that, like minimal research has been done, but I can appreciate it for what it is, which is just, again, really stupid, simple-minded entertainment. Dare I say, I kind of love this movie. I probably will never watch it again, but thanks, Free Guy, for not being completely unbearable. Cherry's well made, Tom Holland's great in the movie, most of the acting's good. I barely remember anything about it really. I probably should have written something down after watching it. There are just some questionable things about it, like for example the infamous shot from inside his anal cavity, which is just weird. I'm trying to take this horrific post-traumatic stress after war film seriously, but okay. It goes in some interesting directions and it does some cool things with the characters, but at times it does kind of feel like a music video, almost as if the Russo brothers are experimenting with their directing after having made MCU movies for so long. I just don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest. It's probably the least good 6 out of 10 that I saw. Like, it's a very generous 6. I probably would have given it a 5 if I hated it a bit more, or just liked it a little less, but you know, again, I just didn't completely dislike it. I thought for what it was just an okay film. The Tragedy of Macbeth, I'll be honest, I did not really sit this one out completely entirely. I'm really not a Shakespearean person. I just don't care for Shakespeare. I think he's a thief. Most of his stories are just based on other shit. And I'm not saying you can't make a career out of adapting already existing material, but the original stories, at least after watching The Northman, are just so much more interesting to me. But he has to Shakespeareanize them with his Shakespearean language, and it just irritates me. I cannot stand it. But it's the Coen brothers, so it's a very well made, very well acted film, and I respect it entirely and completely. It has a very well earned 6. The artistic merit behind it, of course, outweighs all of the irritants I have to the original material it's adapted from. I'll probably never see it again, but I do like the Coen brothers. Even if it's just directed by one of them, it will have my undying respect for years to come.
Yes, the ultimate DC movie, trapped in limbo for 4 years, pressure from the fans to release it. Zack Snyder's ultimate 4-hour cut of Justice League.
Yeah, it was okay. So in preparation for this movie, I went and watched the original Candyman. I did not bother with any of the sequels, fuck off. And while I certainly loved the original film a lot more than I like this film still is not that bad. It's actually pretty well made. It has its kind of shocking, gory moments that had me entertained. I thought all the acting was okay for the most part. It ends in a way that I don't really entirely think was satisfying. I can scarcely remember a lot about it, but I like the whole psychological aspect of an artist going crazy. Something about that is just a really cool idea to me because it does happen a lot in the real world. But yeah, it's for what it is. It's an okay horror movie. I'm kind of annoyed that Tony Todd isn't in the movie more, but what can you do? CGBs. We don't talk about Bruno. That's actually not my favorite song. I prefer the one about the strong woman. I really like that song. That's really good. Yeah, Encanto's okay. The story kind of annoyed me. The characters were all like, let's just say I liked some of them more than I liked others. The ones I didn't like that much, I kind of really found fucking annoying. But the animation's great, the voice acting's great. I like this whole multicultural thing Disney's doing, I genuinely do. Even if it does have malicious corporate intent behind it, it's still nice. This is something I hypothetically wouldn't mind watching again if I had to like look after my younger female cousin or something, or my younger male cousin. Like, I guess they can like princess movies too, sure. It's not even really a princess movie, it's just a movie about a girl who's essentially a Disney princess, even if she's not called one. But yeah, I like the message of this film. It's actually really nice. Older generations can be really stubborn sometimes, and this film definitely is rich in character. I'll give it that much. This movie is it's overhyped, like it really is. I think it's very well shot. I really like the music. All the acting's great, but it's just it's a bit of a slog. It really is. It's just one of those like modern westerns that I don't care about. Like, the whole appeal of westerns is that it's people like shooting each other and just being crazy and vile and gross and gritty. And this film does have grit, I will give it that much. It does have some slightly intense moments, mainly from a psychological standpoint, but I'm just not that fussed about it. I don't exactly agree with what Sam Elliott had to say about the movie. Like, I don't think it was that bad. The Power of the Dog is a good movie, don't get me wrong. I just feel like there are better ones. Come on, come on! Joaquin never fails to entertain me. I love him dearly. This film is no exception. At its core, it is very much a family drama about the conflict between brother, sister, and niece slash nephew slash son of said brother and sister duo. It perfectly captures the stressfulness of looking after kids and what people have to go through in the real world with real jobs and stuff like that. The whole mum dying of guess Alzheimer's thing was quite touching and for me a bit relatable. I really like this film. I just did not love it, but I would consider watching it again. No sudden move is how I felt. No sudden moves while watching this movie. That is how tense it was. I'm kidding, I was moving around a lot. Yeah, I like this film. Didn't really capture my full attention. It's of course nowhere near as good as like Scorsese films of old or anything like that. It does pack some really neat twists and turns though. All the acting is really great. It's got a great cast. Julia Fox, Don Cheadle, David Harbour again looks almost completely unrecognizable. Brendan Fraser's making a very well-deserved comeback. Ray Liotta's in the movie. Did I already say Julia Fox? Yeah, probably. I really like her. She's really great in this film. Sometimes you forget that she is still like an actor who does do great performances because you just kind of see her on the internet with all this celebrity gossip and stuff so much, but yeah, she's great. It's just one of those gangster movies that is enjoyable but not the best thing ever made. Maybe if this came out in the 70s it'd be like a bit more revered and praised and loved, but as it stands I just think it's good. Dare I say it's closer than a 7 to a 5? This would definitely improve of a rewatch. I'm looking forward to giving it a second go with someone. Malignant is fucking awesome. James Wan really knows his craft when it comes to horror and incredible cinematography. Yeah, it's a little bit stupid and kind of silly and I wasn't taking it very seriously, but oh my god, what a thrilling fun ride this film really is. I don't love it, but I feel like I will learn to love it. Again, dare I say it, go up to a 7 one day if I can look past some of the stupidity that the film offers. I think if action horror or just action and horror are your favorite genres, then this is definitely a film that you will enjoy. I know I certainly did. Really stupid but really entertaining Nicolas Cage joint. I was laughing my ass off from beginning to end. This is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that we deserve. This is the Nicolas Cage movie that we deserve. This is a film that I adore. Even if some people really don't like it, or think that it's really dumb, which it is, but that's what I love about it. I really want Willy's Wonderland to be a real place, and I really want actual people to get murdered by actual animatronics. I think that would be awesome.